So what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Robert. If this is your first time tuning in. So today what we're going to go over is pretty much some of the purchases I just made for a hunting trip. Quickly going to review these, quickly give you my first thoughts on it, talk about the build quality, the materials used, price points, things like that, and some of the reasoning why I went behind some of these products. So the first one I'm going to talk about today is a Moxule. I believe I'm pronouncing it correctly, Moxule. This is a binocular harness. So if you're in the market for a binocular harness, you've probably realized that they are pretty expensive. I went to QU, saw some of the newer ones they have out there. They're about 180 bucks plus tax. Even if you go to Sitka, now you're looking at 200 and something dollars plus tax. And then if you look online, like the Vortex ones are like $29, right? So what's the difference between these two? Is it worth paying, $200 for a binocular harness, or can you get something less expensive but still really, really good quality? So what I ordered today was the Moxule. I'll leave this one down below in the description for anyone who wants to look at it, check it out. I personally think that it is actually better in person than it was on the photos. I wasn't sure about the quality, but it did have good reviews, so that's the reason I was willing to give it a chance. I did pick this thing up, I believe, for being between $60 and $70, I want to say. 60, 70 bucks seems like a fair price for what this is going to be used for. Now again, I like to mainly bow hunt, but I do rifle hunt occasionally as well. And since we are going on a trip that I'm going to be hiking quite a bit, I thought I'd go ahead and get a binocular harness, and a binocular chest pack, instead of just the harness where you have your binoculars dangling, because I didn't want them to get caught. So that's the reason I went ahead and got one of these. Now again, for 60, 70 bucks, right off the bat, I'm actually really impressed with the quality of it. Just by looking at it, it looks super clean, super just nice. It looks nice for $60 to $70 price point. The material seems pretty durable, seems kind of like a water resistant material. Now, even on these little, these little air pads right here, they feel pretty good. You get some that feel really cheap, kind of rough. These feel pretty decent. I have rough hands, so they sound rougher than probably what it is. But now we're going to go ahead and look at some of these pockets. So it does have a little pocket in the back. You could probably put a cell phone in there. You can put a compass in there. You can put a couple things in there. So this pocket in the back, and again, I'm not sponsored by this company, by the way. Even though it might sound like I am, I'm not. This is a little rain cover for the harness itself. And it's actually attached. So you just tuck it right back in. So you can put quite a bit of things in here. I'm trying to check it out. And you can adjust the strap. So it does have a strap here. So you can actually adjust if you need more room for this thing to stretch out and cover the binocular harness or whatever. But yeah, it looks pretty good. From what I can see, looks plenty good. I'm just going to put it on like that just for right now. But let's make it look at least a little bit better. So that's what this is going to look like with the rain cover on this guy, which it's nice that it has, because not all binocular covers have these included in the price point. This one does, which I didn't even know it had this. To be honest with you, I didn't read that far, I guess, in the description. I didn't even know it had this. So this was kind of like a nice little surprise for me. We all like those little surprises like that. So that's that. We'll go to some of these other things here. So you do have your little clips here, and I'll get to the harness here in a little bit. It is a 4-point harness. This is magnetic. I personally prefer magnetic versus zipper. It's just easier and faster to get to it. And the magnet itself is pretty strong. I don't know if you guys can see it and hear it. It takes a little bit of effort to, if I had to give it like how much poundage does it take to pick it up? I would say it's probably about 3 to 4 pounds of pressure on it to pick it up, give or take. Again, this isn't no science behind that. I'm just kind of guessing here. This little pocket here on the side, this isn't the rangefinder pocket, it's just a little extra pocket. It has a nice felt inside here. It's actually very soft. Softer than I would expect for a binocular harness in this price point. Now this is the rangefinder itself. Seems pretty well built. Same little felt pad here, and elastic on this, and This thing is Velcroed here, but it is attached through a little loop, so I like that. It's pretty durable. You can take this thing off. It looks like you can pop these things off, but I like to have it set up. You can take it off if you don't want it there. And I'm assuming you can probably do the same with this one. Yep. And the Velcro is pretty strong. It's a pretty strong Velcro, so I like that. You do have your MOLLE system here in the bottom in case you want to add anything here. And then the main pocket here in the front, probably for some snacks or directions, anything you might want to use. Good little felt pad there as well. Really soft material as well. Again, for 70 bucks, 60, 70 bucks, not bad. Bungee, it's pretty stout. It's not too soft. When you have your rangefinder in here, it's going to be a little bit more puffy, so it is going to add a little bit more resistance to this, so you have to actually pull it down a little bit. The bungee itself feels like a chongo. We call it chongos in Spanish. If your girlfriend has like those little things that they put in their hair, I don't even know what the heck they call them. I call them rubber bands in the hair, but they're not called rubber bands. But either way, I call them chongos or rubber bands that the women put in their hair. That's about the same toughness that this thing feels like. It takes a little bit of strength to kind of stretch it out, so it's perfect, so it's not going to come loose as your rangefinder's in there. Inside the main compartment here, same little felt pad, very soft. It actually has a little bit of like an air pocket up here at top. You can kind of feel it's it's pressed right along the edges here, and there's a little bit of an air pocket here, probably for protection. It's not a lot, it's a little bit, but you can tell it's there. As far as inside here, same thing as well, padding, and then the felt pad as well. This is the harness part itself. We'll get to that here shortly. They come with a little brochure pad here, just giving a little bit of talking about it. It's a heavy nylon, rain cover, magnetized lid. Yep, you know all that. There is a little pocket in here for batteries, and then they do give you a little cleaning cloth as well that is attached, so you can clean off your binos. Again, this is more than I expected for this price point, to be honest with you. Again, I just went based off of reviews and it looked pretty decent, so I went ahead and ordered it. But it does have two little pockets here. One is taken up with the little cleaning cloth. And overall, inside, feels very, very well. So I'm going to be putting some 10 by 50s in here. I think this thing is 6.7 inches in height, and I think mine are 6.6. So it's barely going to fit in here. Should be fine though. So that's what we're going to be using these for. Now to talk about the harness itself. Now this is where it feels like they might have skimped out on a little bit, is the harness part. The harness part feels like they may have skimped out a little bit. This is where you get to the $60 to $70 price range, is probably here. It doesn't look like they cheaped out here. They put most of the money on this, which, I mean, I think it should. This is what's going to protect the pieces of glass that we're using, so I'm fine with that. This is where it feels a little bit cheaper, but it's not bad. It's like a basic, like vortex little sling that you use without the pack itself. That's what this feels like. Not super high end, but it'll get the job done. But overall, it feels pretty good. The clips themselves feel a little bit better. Like they may have put, a little bit more time and effort into these clips, more so than just like this little padding and straps themselves. But yeah, overall it feels really, really good. We'll see how it clicks in here. See if these things fit snug. Yeah, they do. Sometimes you get some that are just a little bit loose, but no, they do fit pretty nicely. But this is what it looks like, the Moxule. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Moxule chest pack. Again, if you gain any value from this, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I do appreciate you guys tuning into the channel. See you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.